Ahlun liya Nuwabik fasul Abdul kul ashutat zur bazun mun samus patemta. So I said, welcome to the Nuwabik class. Begin all prayers and thinking by using the all. Okay? Now, this video is for those in the Nuwabik class in the nation, or at least in the Facebook group. And if you don't participate in the Facebook group, in 30 days you're out. That's just the rule. It was put in place to kind of urge people to participate in the class. So if you don't participate, you're going to be out. That's just the rule. It's not fair for you to take up other people's time and their effort to try to put this whole thing together, and you're kind of being a Negro. You just want to learn English. Well, there's plenty of English out there. You can go learn that. You know what I mean? But over here, we're Nuwabians, and we're part of the United Nuwabi Nation of Moors, and we're trying to teach the people a language. Now, whether you decide to make it your language is up to you. We're not going to hold your hand through it. We're here to help working adults, Moors or blacks, Negroes. I'm hearing people say Negro land. If you're from Negro land, then if you want to learn a language that's not English because you were born an American Negro or black or African American or any of these misnomers placed by the Tamahu, then this is where you need to be at. So today we're going to talk about some words, some common words, words that have been updated that really the academic institution hasn't really let out yet, but I'm going to put you guys up on some game today. Again, my name is Murhuta Nudimud Kahagadul El. So if you can't pronounce all that, just say Murhuta, which means one with knowledge, right? So today we're going to go over parts of the house. Not the whole house. This is going to have to continue in the next session subsequently. But as for now, let me break a few things down for you. All right. So parts of the house. We could say, I'm going to need two colors for this, but T-loose. All right. We got T-loose, which, let me get my brown marker, which translated equals floor, right? Sorry, just kind of, I burped there, so I please excuse me for that. Excuse my belch. So we have T-loose. The garage is called a garug. And that is the garage. If you're cooking something, right? That'll be that's something you do in the house, in the kitchen, right? So the word kitchen leaves me right now, but I know cooking is tabuch. So let's go with tabuch. Like I said, that stands for cook. To cook, right? It's a verb. What other word? I'm going off the top of my head here. So that's you got books, right? So book is chef. Chef is book. Remember, it used to be katub, but katub means to just write now, and yeah, katub means to just write, and chef is the book, right? Because katub used as a noun used to be book, but the master teacher back in the day separated those words. So just take note of that. And usually a book goes on a shelf, right? So let's actually use rafuf is shelf, right? Ra. Oh, my F looks terrible right there. It's a terrible F, y'all. Rafuf. And that equals shelf. Now let's get, so you can see that in the screen. Okay, let's get house. And that is hot. Hot is house. Let's see, what other words can I come up with? Window. Window is shabuk. Shabuk. Shabuk is window. And if you guys don't know what these letters are and how they construct these words, watch my other videos on the Nuwabik class, because I believe I completed all the alphabet. If not, I haven't done a video in a while, so I'll go back and actually fix all that stuff, or actually continue it to where you get the whole alphabet, the whole Nuwabik alphabet, because it's pretty vital that you know that before you even jump into the words. But this video is being done on request from students in the class, so that's why I do this right now. So, with all that in mind, hopefully you took note of these words, you wrote it down on a piece of paper or something, and now we want to actually go into some common words too, right? So I'm gonna erase this. So hopefully you wrote it down. Give me a second here. I'm gonna erase this. And hopefully I remember what I wrote down. If not, I will introduce new words on the fly and we will put them in a sentence. So we're gonna go over some common words right now too. And I'm gonna use like independent pronouns like I, you, you all, right? So here we go. So I, and this is masculine and feminine. So I'm gonna try to go over it all. I don't use the feminine a lot, so I may have to revert back to my spreadsheet, but here we go. All right, so if you want to say I, like a man, he says I, or when you're reading someone's paper, and you know, in English you can't tell I, because I could be I as a woman, I as a man. So Nuwabik is the proper way to say it. Nuwabik, you would say oh, you can't see that at all. Okay, hold on. Yeah, you can't see that at all on the computer screen. So let's use red. Red's nice bright color, slowest vibrating color out of the color spectrum, but we're gonna use it. So we got you know what? Let me write bigger for you guys. It don't it don't look big enough, man. So that don't look big enough. I'm gonna have to write a little bigger so you guys can see. All right, so okay, so that's Nuki. 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 All right, and that's I'm gonna put M for masculine. If I want to say I, as in I'm a woman and I'm about to do something, right? You would say Nuka. Alright? That's Nuka. Alright? And this of quick side note here. I know if you look in the mystery language, the blue book, it's actually nuke. The master teacher made nuke, but as we're using the language, we're like, well, if we say I, it's an innovation. It's an improvement. It's an innovation because nuke really doesn't tell you if it's nuki, masculine, or nuka, feminine. So you say, you know, I will go home, right? Do you see nuki sofa, zahub dar, or do you say nuka sofa zahub dar? You don't know who's speaking, right? If you say nuke, so this is it's an addition. It's an addition. So, all right, now we got the eyes out of the way, right? Let me go over here, and if you say you, we'll just stick with I and you today. I don't wanna throw too much at you guys today. So if you say, and these are independent pronouns, these aren't even conjugations, because there's conjugations for male and female, and it's a long list, and we'll have to break that down too, so it all makes sense. So if you want to say you, right? You masculine would be antuk, right? Antuk, right? That's masculine. Feminine would be antut. Right? See, I almost forgot there. Antut. Right? That's feminine. So I'm going to say, how are you? I would say, ahe ata antuk, which means, how are you? And I'm talking to a man or a boy, I would say, ahe ata antuk. If I'm talking to a female, I would say, ahe ata antut. Right? If the person I'm talking to right here in the same vicinity, one on one, if she's a female, I say, ahe ata antut. So, and we'll go over third person stuff the next lesson whenever I have it. Because I'll be so busy sometimes I can't get around to that. So I hope you wrote that down. Pause the video. That's why I make the videos on demand. So you can pause it, rewind it, do whatever you got to do. Because right now, we want to break down a couple other simple linking verbs, right? Because now, ahe ata, right? I said ahe ata. So ahe is spelled like this. Remember to write it pretty big for you guys, all right? Ahe is how. Ahe is how, and ata, I might not have wrote that big enough for you guys. Ata equals R. And you might as well put some other ones in here too, like kalun. Kalun would translate to is or be. This depending if it's a third person talking, third person singular, or I can't think of a sentence where it's a be, how you be, that wouldn't be proper English, right? Or if I said be good would be kalun nafer. So I can't think of many words that That's okay. We'll think of something later. All right. So yeah, ahe, ata, and kalon. This is an interrogative word, like how are you? How did you commit that murder? You would start off with ahe, right? Um, how are you? Like we just explained, that would be ahe, ata, right? So you just put these two together, and then you could say antuk or antut, right? And when you say the U's, well, let's go over a misnomer in English, okay? Let's go over it, and then we'll start put sentences together with the words that. Well, I'll give you. Actually, you need a verb too, right? Like you need a verb. So, but we're gonna go over something in English real quick. I think it's an important. It's an important step. It's something that needs to be explained. So in English, and we're just gonna go over words, not even sentences but phrases. In English, when you say new, right? The word new, right? Now, when you learn your alphabet in English, you learn that E is right? The E is N is N, E, W, W, right? So how did this get? So how do you pronounce this new? Why do you hear the U, new, right? See, in ancient Tamaran language or the ancient languages, even the Sumerian language, Akkadian, even ancient languages in Turtle Island, you would probably, if we had to use an English transliteration, you would spell it like this: new, like Nubian, right? New car. The word is this, but you pronounce it new. So that's the pronunciation, the letters and the pronunciation and how you articulate words in English is so bad. It's so horrible. It's another example, all right? So here we go. The word to, and like I'm going to as an adverb, to. They say that the double O in English is a U sound, right? So it's actually pronounced like this, to. Like in Spanish, they pronounce it better in Spanish. Because what you see is exactly how you pronounce the word. There's no silent words. There's no undemarked rules of pronunciation. Which means there's rules in pronunciation in English that have never been publicized. So you just make up. That's why brothers and sisters be pronouncing their words so bad, because there's no rules. English, there's literally no rules how to pronounce words. These are just some of the inefficiencies in English. And then the vowel A, right? Right. Like the word, I'm keeping it real simple, like at. The word at. If A is ah, right? They teach you that A is ah, right? How did that get to at? Where's the ah and at? You know what I'm saying? Or the word bad. Shouldn't that be bod? Bod and ought, not bad and at. So why does the A change? Why does the A why are you pronouncing the A differently? Right? And there's no explanation for that. That's because English is this really a conglomerate of other languages, like German. It comes straight from German, and then they mix the German in with the French and with the Latin that the Romans spoke, and so you got all these different languages, and then the pronunciation gets confused. That's why there's so many Greek words and French words and even some German words in English, like God. God itself is a German word. The word black is actually a German word that came into English, and black means pale. It means pale. You better go look at your etymology, brothers. All right. So we got that, right? I just want to get that out the way because when you start seeing words in Nuwabik, like I don't want you to memorize this word, but I want you to look at it because you're gonna pronounce it exactly the way it looks. All right. So I want to take part of one of the prayers. Okay, we're just gonna use. Actually, let's not do that. Let's wait. That's a little bit more advanced. Let's not do that. Let's stick with. I'm gonna give you two verbs, right? Two verbs. One is to walk, and the other one is to put. Like I'm gonna put my book on the shelf. So walk, right? Walk is my shoe. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's okay. That's okay. This is what I should be doing for you guys anyway. Sorry, I'm getting better at this teaching thing, so please bear with me. My shoe, and the way that looks in Nuwabik is this. My shoe, and that means to walk. Walk, right? And then the word for put, like I'm gonna put my book away, right? Is a Laghut. Laghut. Let me use a Latin transliteration for you guys. And that means put, right? So you got walk and put. Alright? So we're gonna put these into a sentence, right? Mashub and Laghut. Right? Laghut. And you gotta roll your R's in Nuwabik, and this is not Laghut. I know a lot of brothers be saying Laghut, but this is a Nuwabik class, so we have to pronounce it correctly. And if you're not used to the and the just practice, man. Because I didn't know it either a couple years ago. When I was taking a Hebrew class, Aramic Hebrew class, I struggled with that, especially that. Well, that's another argument. The ayin in Aramic is actually a ghain. The Tamil who took away the GH because the Tamil who couldn't pronounce the GH when they came over from these are the Ashkenazis. I forgot what country, Kazakhstan or anyway. This country adopted this Western Russian country adopted Judaism as their state religion in the 8th century, and when they came over to Jerusalem to learn from the Moors that were there, the Israelite Moors, they couldn't pronounce Ghain. Like in Arabic, like remember Shurdik and Aramic back in the day were the same language. That's why it's so similar even to this day. Even though the Ashuric will kind of take an Aramic word and kind of flip it and bounce it, you know what I'm saying? But you can tell where the root letters came from, right? And then all that stuff comes from Sumerian and then ancient Tamare. So we all know that. So yeah, just practice pronouncing the r. When you say R, it's not Rakut. It's Rakut. No, actually, it's not Rakut. It's Rahut. Rahut. Right? So, yeah. Remember that. I don't want to mess y'all up. Just remember that. All right. So now we're just gonna make a little short sentence. You know, gonna make a little short sentence. So here we go. No big deal. We got this. Y'all gonna work with me. All right, Nuwabians, work with me. So I said I walk, right? So we're gonna say, and I'm not gonna conjugate any of the verbs, just to keep it simple, right? Just to try to translate it from English to Nuwabik. We're going to keep it very simple. So if you say I walk, right? How would you say that? If I was a woman, the goddess, right? How would I say this? How would I say I walk, right? How would I say it, right? You would just say, oh bad. You can tell it was on my mind there. All right. If you're a woman, you say nuka mashub, right? You would say nuka mashub, and that's feminine, right? And if you're a man or a boy or male, or not a male, but a boy or a man, one of the gods, you would say nuki. You can hear that marker working, right? So you would say nuki mashub. Nuki mashub. So, and this would be masculine, right? So, if we want to extend this sentence and put a preposition in there like I walk to the house. I walk to the house. Let's say I walk to the house, right? Then you would simply, I'll introduce a new word. It's to. To is liya. Liya. So then you would say, ooh, it's getting kind of messy in here, huh? I'm gonna erase this bottom part. So all right. So okay, so I got enough space now. So nuka mashu liya liya. The word. Okay, the word the definite article, right? It's not L.
Here's
It,
the definition of warder: a guard in a prison.
okay, that was a Google helper, Google voice. Okay, so anyway, so we got nuka, mashu, liya. The word the is not L anymore. Remember, it changed from L to pa. And I'm talking to Nuwabians. It went to pa. So if you're still saying L, it's fine. You can say L, but I consider that old Nuwabik. It's old Nuwabik. It's like if you read the Bible, it's old English. So I consider it old Nuwabik if you're still saying L, because the current day and time is pa. See that? Pa. So liya pa hat. Hat. Okay? So that's nuka mashu liya pahat. Right? Nuka mashu liya pahat. So that means I walk to the house, right? Simple sentence, right? So, and then if you want to say the masculine, right? Take away the A, take away the F for feminine, and now you got nuki, right? Which is male. So I expect all my students to write that down. Alright? So nuki mashu liya pahat. This means I walk to the house but a man speaking from the first person, right? So, all right, guys, got that. Very good, very good. So, well, you know what? Let me put one romantic word up in here. I'm gonna put one romantic word up in here, man. Okay. So, if you want to call your mate baby, you know, hi is rahu, or actually it's greet or greetings is rahubat, right? I'm still hearing people saying rahubat, which is wrong. That would mean greets is rahubat in the Nuwabik. So baby, like hey baby, or no, we're not gonna use it as baby like my little baby. I'm saying like baby like my love, my baby, my girlfriend or my man or something like that. All right. So that is not. This is Mose. Hold up, so y'all can see. This is Mose, not Mose, right? Because in English, another English flaw in their language, in the Tamahu's language, is that why is this silent? Why not just spell it Mose? If it's if Mose or Mose, why not just spell it M-O-S? Why put the E on it at all? Why is these silent letters that they can't explain? So they can't explain this, y'all. That's why it's an inefficiency in the pronunciation, articulation, and enunciation. Okay? So, with that said, how do we pronounce that? How do we break that down in Nuwabik? How do we do that? So, we're going to put the E back, right? And the way we break it down, the syllables is like this. Boom, 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 right? We say, somebody's calling me. That's my girl. Let me call her back. Okay, so we say mo, and when I do like that, mo say, right? That it looks like a U. That little symbol I got, that means that's an unaccented syllable, right? So you say mose, mose. You don't have to say that aggressively, but mose. You put the accent on the se part. Mose. Most words in Nuwabik, the accent goes on the last syllable, right? In Spanish, it goes on usually the second syllable of a 3-syllable word. If it's a 2-syllable word in Spanish, it usually goes on the first syllable, right? And then you notice in Spanish sometimes they'll have the accent on the last syllable in the word. That's because it's not a natural accent to where the syllable, the main accent falls within a multiple syllable word. So I guess what I'm saying is in Spanish it's usually the first or second accented syllable. In Nuwabik, it's mostly always is the last syllable in a word. So mose, and then in mose we also have the mo. In this is an open syllable, right? Because it ends in a vowel, right? It ends in a vowel. And this also ends in a vowel. See the E and then the O. So mose, mose. Okay, mose. You gotta freak it. You gotta freak it a little. You gotta practice saying the word mose. Mosei. That means my baby. Mosei. Ashegu. Mosei Ashegu. Right? So let me break down Ashegu, man. Ashegu. I'm gonna break that down. Hope you guys wrote this down and understood the pronunciation of the syllables. There are no silent letters in Nuwabik. I repeat, what you see is what you pronounce. There are no silent syllables. This is not English. But you'll get used to it as time rolls around, brothers and sisters. Okay, let's see. I'm having fun doing this. This is fun teaching y'all, man. No problem, Nuwabian. No problem, Nuwabiane. But we'll get into that later. So, Mose, and when I say Mosei, right? Maybe I should. Okay, let's go over that. Mo se, and it's gonna look like this, you guys. Okay, mo se e. Right, so you're. Sorry, I keep burping. I don't know. Anyway, mo se e. Right, we got. What's the? So now, the accent and syllable, right, moves on the last. Can y'all see this? Okay, moves on the last syllable of the word. So it's mosei. And this, right? This is a pronominal suffix, right? Means it's a pronoun, right? But it's a possessive pronoun, e. And we're just gonna do this now because I'm trying to break down this word. We'll go over the pronominal suffixes in another class, right? So this translates to my baby, right? My baby, mosei, and you gotta and the rules of pronunciation in Nuwabik, when you see two e's like that, two e's, mosei, right? But if you only see one e, and this is just for English transliteration, it's mose, like mose, right? And then mosei, and then mosei, right? You hold this actually a little longer than you would hold the regular E sound, which would be an I in English, which is confusing to a lot of English speakers, but this is Nuwabik, not Nuwabike or Nuwabik. It's Nuwabik. So you're gonna have to learn that this is really the double E is just a very long I sound in Nuwabik. So yeah. So anyway, this is the pronominal suffix. Alright, I'm gonna circle this and put pronominal suffix. Alright, can y'all read that? Right, let me get out the way. Okay, there we go. So that's a pronominal suffix, what I just circled. So keep that in mind, alright? We gotta start off with small doses of this Nuwabik language for everybody, I believe. So let's erase this. All right. Let's erase all that. Let's get to love, because Nuwabians, you know who we love. We got Hadu Sachug. Hadu Sachug just means divine love, but as a Cosmosan, you'll learn that. So let's see. We're gonna go over Achug, right? So let's do that, y'all. Let's go over this word together. All right. So, all right, and then Achug. Achug means love, right? All right. Now, I don't want to go over the conjugations. We'll go over that. I think I went over that in another class, but I'll probably end up doing another video on demand for that. So let's talk about this right here. So we got Achug. That's the root verb, and it could be used as a noun. So if I want to say I love, or baby, I love you, right? There's a way to conjugate that. The word's less words, but let's not do that now, right? So we're gonna go remember, baby was mo say, right? Actually, okay, yeah, mo say, and if you want to, if that depends if you're a man or a woman, so I will write it. I'm messing you guys up. I'm writing in Nuwabik and where did my I'm writing in Nuwabik and then English, Latin letters, and then Nuwabik. Well, let's keep it the same. So, baby, I love you, right? So that's, gotta make sure I'm writing it all. And I'm gonna put a parenthesis here because you could say Nuki slash Nuka, right? So it's Mose Nuki or Nuka. Chug. And then you could say, there's another option, depends on who you're talking to. You could say on tuk or on tut, right? Depending if it's male or female. Male, female, male, female. So, Mose Nuki Achug Antuk, right? Or Mose, no, actually, let's go back. Mose Nuki Achug Antut. Or you could say Mose Nuka Achug Antuk. Right? Because hopefully you're not saying Nuki and then Antuk, right? Because that would mean, well, it depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to your father or something, you know, that type of love, that's a different type of love than you know where I was insinuating. So, yeah, that's good. Now I'm just giving you an example of how to conjugate this, right? Right. So, because conjugating is much easier once you get it down. That right there is just a straight transliteration of English to Nuwabik. And by the way, in Nuwabik that would have been wrong. You don't say it like that in Nuwabik. But just to show you what the language sounds like, you know, in Nuwabik there's a lot of uts and oogs and shugs, and it's you got to get down in the gut to really pronounce these words. So if you want to say I love you in Nuwabik and conjugating it, right? So you would say, let's keep it in transliteration of Latin letters. You would say Acheguk. Acheguk. And what I think in another video I talked about the glottal stop, like uh-oh. So that's when you see this is or if there's an e in front of it, or sha'ur, which means hair, which means your hair, sha'ar. But this means acheguk, and you can see how the vowels are kind of switched around, right? So if we had to speak about this, we'd talk about this part because it changed, right? And then this part, why did that change, right? And this is only a conjugation. If I said I love, I would say, let's write it down. I would say achegu, and this means, remember, I love you, and this means just I love, right? So the difference between acheguk and achegu, of course, is there's a K on the end here, right? Now usually, well, let's not get into that, but UK is usually like we went over the word house, right? If you want to say your house, you say hatuk, right? That's hatuk. That uk means your, and it's actually a masculine and feminine way of saying your, because it could who does it belong to? Does it belong to the man, woman, boy, or girl? How do you tell, right? I'm just giving you the male version, the male or neutral. Like if you had male and females, you would go with the uk, right? That's just the natural rule of Nuwabik pronominal suffixes. But this is a possessive pronominal suffix. So anyway, y'all, as we wind it down here, you're also gonna see from the root word, achug, you're gonna see this change. Now, in another video that I got, I think it was the first or second Nuwabik class, Nuwabik Fasul, you're gonna see why or how this changes, right? If it's I doing something, you always take the actually. This one's a tricky one because it already starts off with a vowel. So let's use the word. Actually, no, we'll keep it here. We'll keep it here. In the next video, I'll show you when a verb doesn't start with an A, what does the conjugation looks like? Because the A is going to end up being there anyway in the beginning of the word. So you could see how the root letter is the first letter. Nah, this is just a bad word to show the full conjugation, but just know that the vowel in between, this is the first root letter. So when you conjugate it, it's always an A in the beginning. So this doesn't change at all, right? Actually, let me show you guys. Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna have to show you guys now because when I talk about it, it's not gonna make sense until I show it to you. So achug, acheguk, and achegu, right? You can kind of see where the differences in the vowels, the pronominal, suffix, possessive, and then just I love, right? You could see how it changes from the root word. Remember, you always start from the root word. And again, let's go over the root word. The root letters is bam, bam, and bam. That's first, second, and third root letters. You're always gonna have root letters in every word. Some words only have 2 root letters. Others have 4, 5, 6 root letters. Well, I don't think I've seen a 6 yet, but I've seen a lot of 5s. Especially when you put the word, if you're trying to construct a new word, there's forms you can go through to construct the new word. And it's all in scroll number 7, which is being updated. So there you have it, right? You could see. Now let me break that down better with another verb. Since we already did mashub, we're gonna stick with mashub. Mashub means walk, right? So this is the last thing before we wrap this up. So mashub, right? Remember I talked about the root letters. SH is 1 letter in our language. So 1, 2, 3, right? And that means walk, right? You know, there's the Imam, there's an Imam prayer or meditation. In the second part of the meditation, you'll say the masters. This is just part of it. The masters do walk with me, and that's all I can give you. But the masters do walk with me. That'll be pa sayudat karni. Yeah, pa sayudat karni. The masters walk. No, I'm sorry. Pa sayudat mashub karni. Pa sayudat mashub karni. So, just wanted you to try to say as much stuff as I can. It helps me out, and it helps the listener or the student kind of tell what it's supposed to sound like, right? So, if we say mashub, watch how this changes when I say I walk, right? This is when I say I walk. Now it's see that? Now it's amshebu, right? That's why I couldn't do achug because achug, the root words and the vowels are not moving around the root words. So notice, this is a clue if you ever want to reverse engineer these words. So 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, right? The only difference is that the vowels have moved positions, right? The vowels have moved positions. Like the vowels are here on this one, right? You got your first root, you give a vowel, second root, vowel, third, no vowel at the end. Now when you say, sorry, I walk, now we can observe that this has moved over here, right? So now it's and once this moves, the SH slides over, right? So now you got MSH, which is and when you have two consonants right there, there's actually a little pause in the way you pronounce the word when you conjugate it, right? There's a little pause. Shebu. You can hear it. Shebu. Right? This is mashu. There's no pause in mashu. But these two consonants next to each other, these two root letters that are next to each other, there's a slight pause in the way you pronounce it. So it's shebu, right? And then after the second root letter has shifted over because the A went from here to over here, now after the second root, you have another vowel, and it's always an E, right? It's always an E there. And then you have your third root letter, right? It just slid over to the left because the A got moved and slid everything over to the left. And now you have, after the third root letter, you have your U, right? So no matter what verb you have, if you're gonna conjugate in the first person as if I'm the speaker, or if you're if you're doing a narrative writing, it's gonna be different, right? Because it's a different point of view. So it's gonna be shebu. If it's another word like jump is gafus, you can say agfesu. It's always gonna be A, E, and U, agfesu. Once you get this down, you take the root and you can conjugate how you want to. You're gonna be a master at conjugation. You just gotta memorize the format. This is why we write the format down, so you can see how it changes. And once you lock it in the mental, practice it, you'll be fine, right? So actually, I should have put today's date up here in Nuwabik. It's actually Shahur Amun Asha Yawum. Asha Yawum is actually Pa Yawum Shil Nudimud, the day of Nudimud, which you guys probably know is Enki. So yeah, actually we're putting the calendar out soon too, so keep abreast on that. So if anybody got any other questions or want to join our Facebook group, feel more than happy to, because you have to be invited. So if you're not one of my friends on Facebook, I'll put the link in the show notes here so you can get in contact with me, and we can incorporate you into the class. Just make sure that you're really interested, because we don't have time to be wasting with people. We're trying to educate the chosen ones, the 144,000 that want to go up in the shams, and the spirit has to be ready, and you must be speaking the right tones to get there. So without that, you're not going to be the one chosen. Trust me. I guess that's about it. Let me know what you guys think in the show notes. If you happen to see this in the public, just know that I made this for the people in our language class, which everybody's free to watch. I really don't care. So yeah, give me your feedback. Wadu Nuwabik Hata Ganul Wagut. Until next time, Wadu.